Well, Lord's peace be with you. I pray today finds you well. I'm Pastor Ramon. Father in heaven, watch over and guide us. Today is like this. Forgive and give as if it were your last opportunity. Love like there's no tomorrow. The concept of forgiveness resonates deeply throughout the Bible. Jesus' teachings reflect with this importance perhaps more powerfully illustrated in the Lord's Prayer, forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors, Matthew 6:12. Now, this isn't presented as a suggestion, as a reciprocal condition. Our ability to receive God's forgiveness is linked to our willingness to forgive others. The parable of the unmerciful servant in Matthew 18 serves as a stark warning against holding onto resentment when we ourselves have been shown immense grace. Peter questioned to Jesus, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times in Matthew 18. And Jesus responds, not 7 times, but 77 times. In Matthew 18:22, it underscores the boundless nature of forgiveness expected of believers. To forgive as if it were our last opportunity echoes the divine imperative to release bitterness swiftly and completely, mirroring the limitless compassion of God. It's about recognizing our failability and extend the same grace ourselves desperately need. The act of giving is also central to biblical teaching, from the tithes and the offerings in the Old Testament to Jesus' emphasis on caring for the poor and needy. Generosity is presented as a fundamental aspect of faith. Consider the story of the widow Mit, where Jesus commands a woman who gave all she had, however small, highlighting that she truly gave from the heart, regardless of the amount. Paul's exhortation in 2 Corinthians reads, each of you should give that you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, but for God is a cheerful giver, emphasizing the spirit behind the act. To give as if it were our last opportunity compels us to examine our hearts and our hands. Are we holding on to what we have with a tight grip? Are we freely sharing our resources, Gloria, our time, our talents, recognizing that everything we possess ultimately comes from God? This agency is given reflection, understanding of the fleeting nature, earthly possessions, and the eternal impact of selfless acts. And then there is love, the very essence of God's character, and the cornerstone of his commandments. Jesus himself declared the greatest commandment to be love. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your mind. And the second, equally important, love your neighbor as yourself, Matthew 22. This love is not merely but an active sacrificial commitment. John's word in 1 John 4 resonates deeply. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. To love like there is no tomorrow urges us to shed any reservations or hesitations in expressing affection and extending kindness. Glory be. It calls us to emulate Christ's love, which was poured out unconditionally and completely, even unto death. It's about recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of every individual created in God's image and reflecting God's love in our interactions. These 3 principles, forgiveness, giving, and love, are not isolated virtues, but interconnected expressions of a life lived in accordance with God's will. Forgiving opens the heart to love. Giving is an act of love in action, and love often necessitates forgiveness and generosity. To embrace them as if each moment were our last opportunity is to live in an eternal perspective, recognizing the profound and lasting impact of these spiritual disciplines on ourselves and those around us. Glory be to God. It is a call to live full in the present, reflect the heart of God in all we do. Gloria, what a day. Take care. God bless.